I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have no idea how to start this video, but I will try my best not to bounce backwards and forth. As you are aware, a few weeks ago, there was a vicious stabbing of 3 children at a Taylor Swift dance class. These little ladies lost their lives, and many others were injured, including teachers, which led to a string of unhappy citizens, as you could understand. And rightly so, they took to the streets to protest, to show their anger and frustration because the identity of the killer of these young girls was protected. Even though he was 17 years old, he was old enough to vote, old enough to work. They held the information back because they classified him as a child. But he wasn't a child, he was an adult teenager. And just like Ann Coulter said on Bill Maher's show, the longer they go without telling you, the more you know it's not a white male.
If it were a white man shooting, we'd know.
Well, we don't know, but they haven't.
That's how we know it's not a white man. I can tell you that much.
But you think they're repressing that reporting?
They wouldn't tell us about the transgender woman that shot up the Christian school for what, like a year? Oh, San Bernardino out here. Remember the crazy terrorist Muslims? That's when I first noticed, they're not telling us who it is. It's not a white male. The longer they go without telling you, it's not a white male.
Thing is, this stabbing, this crime that was committed, isn't the first the general public of Britain had to deal with this level of extremists coming from a specific group of people. A few years back, I don't know if you can remember, but there was a British soldier named Lee Rigby who was savagely murdered and beheaded on the streets of the UK. And hundreds of young, underage white British girls have been subjected to the most heinous sexual crimes imaginable. And the people who took to the streets of the UK are fed up because the police are hiding this. For years, they knew about these young girls who were sadly passed around, being raped over and over again, and they did nothing. And yet, they come to the streets to arrest law-abiding citizens who are upset that this country is slowly deteriorating into something unrecognizable, calling us far-right extremists, which couldn't be further from the truth. These 3 young girls who were murdered, it was the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of British people in this country. They were angry. They took to the streets. A lot of them were peaceful, but of course, they turned violent and they started to riot. In fact, both groups on both sides were rioting. You had one group that the mainstream media were constantly calling them far-right extremists, which they wasn't far-right at all. These people were angry men and women of England who were fed up, who have to deal with this shit every single day, watching their neighbourhoods get destroyed, as well as their country transformed into something unrecognisable due to the mass immigration that has been allowed to happen for years and years. We, as UK residents, had to sit back and watch our loved ones get murdered and raped. And just like a balloon, the more you blew into it, the bigger it's going to get, until it pops. The other side, pro-Palestinian Muslims, took to the streets with knives, hammers, machetes, baseball bats, and targeted anybody that got in their way. And the reason why people were upset is because the police allowed one group to run havoc with such violence, and the other group was just arrested for just being there protesting, including a 70-year-old woman who was completely unarmed. This led to the general public to believe there was a two-tier policing in this country. And it's starting to turn out to be true. The British police force allowed Muslim men to run the streets with knives and other weapons, even telling some of them to hide their weapons in a mosque, but the average British man and woman was arrested and charged. You have law-abiding citizens who've had enough of this crap being arrested and thrown into prison for 2 years just for leaving a comment on Facebook or X or making a video like this. That the police may find this offensive or deem this hate speech. Even though I'm making this video myself, there's a good chance, as well as many others, could face prison time for doing so, just for speaking on the topic of immigration. They even have politicians and television media outlets advocating for the ban of sites like X for simply uploading the truth. They hate sites like this because it's an even playing field. They don't want an even playing field because they will lose. So they're trying to get rid of X and other types of media that allows the general public to upload the truth. And we all know they don't want the truth to be shown. They only want their version of what they call the truth. The UK, as I know it, is long gone. The country that I grew up in as a child, even as a teenager, is no more. This country is slowly but surely turning into a fascist nation that you will not be able to even think wrong about the government. UK police are going around arresting people and placing them in prison for simply expressing their feelings and point of views on the subject, on the country that they were born in. As the British citizens of this country continue every single day to pay through their manual labour and taxes. You see, our grandfathers and some great-grandfathers were sent to war to fight against tyranny and fascism, and what we were told was tyranny and fascism. These young lads, 18 years old, stood with rifles in their hands, knowing certain death awaits them. And they did this because they believed if they failed and didn't do their duty, a fascist regime would take over Europe and England. They sacrificed everything, only to have their country that they sacrificed for to be turned into something far worse than they could ever imagine for their grandchildren to live in.
We've got children and women using those trains, destroying some relatives. They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to hold their throats and get rid of them all. I just want to say thank you all. I'm going to leave it now. And free.
So, this man has been arrested, right? Yes, he has. He's been arrested and he's been charged. What's he been charged with? He's been charged with 1 count of violent disorder. Now, is he in prison? No. His court date is 6th of September. Now, on the other hand, this guy here has been arrested and has been sent to prison for about 6 weeks. You know what he did? He uploaded a meme to Facebook of Asian immigrants, or Pakistani immigrants, saying, "Coming to a town near you," and he was imprisoned for that. Now, if you think I've made that up, oh, have I got a video for you. I got a video of 2 police officers arresting a man for offensive Facebook post. I shit you not, this is true, this actually happened, and it's happening more than you think.
So,
What do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
What?
127 of the Communications Act, okay? So you do not have to say that may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later are in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're going
arrested?
to be arrested, okay?
Right,
So you
and
go to the police station.
Right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
oh really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pockets, Thomas?
I've got my keys. I got. No, that's about it. I think keys.
So, anyone who's been arrested, we can search them under Section 32 of the Policing Criminal Evidence Act.
Right.
And that's for dangerous items.
Hey, I mean, you said I was going to be arrested under some what information? I'm going to be
We've had
arrested for
reports that
posting on
you've made
Facebook.
some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's
And can you tell me what this comment was?
Okay, well we'll do that when we interview.
All right. And so,
Okay.
what am I going to be locked up for the night, or?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Right. Do I need to
Unless
take
you
my
film
medications
us.
with me?
How,
Yes, we will look at taking all of those.
When do you need to take them?
Well, I've got pain medications. I've got sleeping medication. I've got anxiety medications, which I might take one of those in a bit.
Okay.
You know.
Well, if we take everything with us, then you've got everything there, haven't you?
And then
Okay.
we've got a nurse up there. They'll be able to.
Okay.
they'll be able to come and see you, and then once you've been there, they can assess whether or not medication can be issued. All right. So what we're going to do is, if you want to pop yourself up, we're just going to search.
You need the glasses.
Yeah, search you.
To come with you.
Yes, this man here, just like the other one who said, "Come into a town near you," he had some offensive comments on Facebook. Now, what is offensive? What I find offensive, you might not. What I find funny, you might not. It's subjective. See, somebody on Facebook might say Taylor Swift is one of the greatest singers of all times. I think Freddie Mercury is. That fucking comment, to me, is offensive. Is that person going to get arrested? No, of course not. That's absurd. But yet, here we are. In 2024, people are getting arrested for memes and Facebook comments that are offensive to people, and I don't know what the future holds for this country. This country now, to me, is a fascist country. You are arresting people for simply having the right to freedom of speech and expression. That, to me, is fascism. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up now because I'm getting stressed out, rightly so, and I'm sure you're getting stressed out too. Please, please be careful. Do not put anything violent on Facebook, and I don't wish any police officers or anybody else to be violently hurt. I understand people are angry. Just protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. Do not go out to hurt people, but protect yourself if something harmful comes towards you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.